The man who is largely responsible to bring us these mouth-watering matchups week after week is our co-promoter, Tom Brown of TGB. And I want to thank Tom Brown, for the excellent job he is doing. Now, let's move on to David Benavidez versus Leon Love. Clearly one of the best matchups and most exciting matchups that can be made in the super middleweight division. It's a pleasure for me now to introduce to you the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellerbe, to say a few words and introduce his fighter, Leon Love.
Thanks,
Leonard.
Richard. Thank you, Richard. The J. Leon David Benavidez fight is going to be a very, very exciting fight. It's, I think, in my eyes, it's a terrific matchup. It's a matchup that Jay has wanted. He's had an eye on Benavidez for quite some time, and I think that with Jay coming in as being the underdog, he's going to lay it all on the line. He's highly motivated. And I think it's a terrific opportunity for him to make a great statement by fighting the very, very talented David Benavidez. Everyone knows what Benavidez brings to the table. He's a very, very exciting young fighter who had a tremendous amount of success at a young age, and he'll be looking to establish himself by being showcasing his skills out there to the world that he's the best super middleweight out there. And this J. Leon Benavidez fight is going to be a very, very exciting fight, and I think the fans will love this fight. Richard?
Excellent. Thank you very much. Leonard. I want to now introduce you David Benavidez, and I want to acknowledge as well his promoter, Samson, my good friend Samson Lekovic. He has a tremendous eye for talent. We all know that. And with David Benavidez, we have clearly, pound for pound, one of the most exciting fighters in the world. And he is here to reclaim the throne as the best super middleweight in the world. He's determined to steal the night on March 16th in Dallas. And it's a pleasure now for me to introduce to you the former WBC super middleweight world champion, El Bandera Roja, David Benavidez. David?
Hello, Richard. Thank you for introducing me. And, I just want to thank you guys for this opportunity. I've been in training camp 3 months in preparation for this fight. This is also a fight I've wanted for some time now. And, it couldn't be in a better venue than in the Cowboy Stadium. I'm just very blessed to have this opportunity, and I'm not going to let it go to waste. And I'm going to get a spectacular knockout come March 16th. It's really going to be amazing.
Thank you very much, David. We are going to be opening it up now for questions for the co-main event. If you have any questions for David or for Leonard or for anyone, please go ahead. Operator?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions at this time, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you have any questions at this time, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. And I'm waiting for callers to join the queue at this present time. Our first question is going to come from Carlos Toro from Fightful. Please go ahead.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for letting us talk to you guys. This big fight and big card taking place next week. First question for David. I know you're considered, the quote-unquote champion in recess by the WBC, and they went ahead and crowned the new champion in Anthony Durrell, but do you still see yourself as the definitive WBC super middleweight champion?
I definitely still see myself as a WBC champion. Nobody beat me. They got to come get me, and they got to come beat me, to crown themselves champion. But I definitely still see myself as WBC champion.
If you win this fight against Julian Love, after this fight, is that the plan to go after Anthony Durrell to win back the title that you've never technically lost?
Yes, that's definitely the plan. But for right now, my mind is 100% on J. Leon Love. He's still a veteran. He's still a dangerous fighter, so I can't overlook him at all. But first things first, I got to take care of business next week on March 16th, and then we'll think about what's going to happen after.
Next, one quick question to Leonard Ellerbe. Leonard, Julian Love's last fight against Peter Quillen was a wide unanimous decision, and From what you've seen, have you seen that Julian Love has sort of taken that loss and taken away, something important is that he feels could help him in this fight against David Benavidez?
Yes, not to make any excuses. He had a lot going on in his life, a lot on his mind, and a lot of times what happens is when fighters aren't focused, they come into a fight and they're not fully prepared, but again, not taking anything from Peter Quillen, outstanding fighter, and, but that was then. Thankful that we got this opportunity to fight a great young fighter in David Benavidez, and Jay Leon is focused. He's an expecting father. He's highly motivated. He's laying it on the line. He's had a terrific camp, and I'm just very excited to see him get this opportunity and go in there. And we know it's going to be a tough fight because we know what Benavidez brings to the table, but very confident that Jay Leon's going to win this fight.
All right, thank you, everybody, and best of luck to Julian and David on March 16th.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you would like to ask a question, press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Our next question is going to come from John Cutney from Reddit Boxing. Please go ahead.
Oh, hey, guys. This is a question for David. So you've been extremely active in general in your career, usually fighting many times per year. You're coming off by far the longest layoff of your career. Just wondering what your personal goal in this fight is. Is this a fight about regaining confidence as a fighter after such a long layoff, or a fight to make a big statement on a big platform on this pay-per-view?
Obviously the confidence never went away on my part. I feel like this is a big stage and a big venue, so it's making a statement. I feel like if I get a spectacular knockout on pay-per-view, my stock is going to go all the way up. So it's just, obviously I haven't been in the ring for a while, so it's just going in there, seeing where I'm at the first few rounds, and then go back right where I left off, as being comfortable in the ring, getting a few rounds in, and then obviously going for the knockout.
Okay, great. So then next question is just if you, asking you to be a little bit of a self-promoter here, how would you rank yourself at 168? There are a lot of guys like, Callum Smith, Caleb Plant, Anthony Durrell. Where do you see yourself, or do you feel you have more to prove before you can, claim to be the top man in this?
Obviously I see myself as the best super middleweight in the division, but, obviously I have to prove myself. But I do see myself as at least in the top 5, and I think when I get the opportunity to prove myself, I'll show only to myself and to the world that I am the best once the opportunities come up.
Okay, thanks. Last question. If given, the opportunity, how many times would you like to fight this year? Again, just mentioning for most of your career, you've fought many, many times per year.
If I have the opportunity to fight 3 times this year, that would be perfect for me, and I feel like that's the route I want to take. If I get 2 or 3 fights, that'd be perfect.
Okay, thanks a lot, David. Good luck.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Ben Baby from the Dallas Morning News. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hey, David. First off, how do you prepare to fight in a venue like AT&T Stadium? It's not your traditional, venue that holds boxing. When you have a venue that big, are there any difficulties that come with being in that kind of environment?
Yes. There's no real way to prepare yourself to fight in a venue that big. You just kind of have to go by how it feels. The last time I fought at the Mandalay Bay, there was a lot of people there, but once the fighting gets to going, you really don't really feel the crowd or see the people. You kind of just focus what's in front of you.
Right. And being around Errol, in the build up to this fight, what's your impression of him been throughout that whole process?
He's a very nice guy. He's a very nice guy. He handles himself in a really professional way. And, every time I see him, I shake his hand, and he's a really nice guy. I really look up to him in that sense. He's a great champion, and I want the best for him.
Awesome. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press star one on your telephone keypad. Our next question is going to come from John Gatland from the NewYorkFight.com. Please go ahead.
Yeah, David, how you doing?
Doing good, and yourself?
Not bad. Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback on just how excited you are about this opportunity to fight in Dallas in front of the fans, and just the magnitude of this event and where you think this will catapult you in terms of getting the bigger fights. And do you think that's going to be a hindrance given all of the promotional rankings that go on? This person's with Top Rank, this person's with Premier Boxing Champions. How do you look at that situation in terms of you really getting yourself out there after putting on maybe the type of performance that you want to put on?
I feel very confident that I'm going to put on a great performance, and I just want to thank everybody for even keeping me in mind and putting me on this card, pay-per-view. It's basically like a dream come true. So I'm confident that I'm going to get a spectacular victory. And if I do that, there's going to be so much people watching that once I get a spectacular victory, I'm in line for something big, obviously, because if things go the way I think they're going to go, people are going to want to see me no matter what. And I think that's going to set me in line for the big fights coming up. And, I just want to go back to where I was, having my belt back, find the best. And I feel like Al Heyman, PBC, my promoter, Samson Lukowicz, they'll take care of all that. I just got to do my job and look spectacular, and everything will take care of itself.
Absolutely. Any thoughts on maybe going up to 175 soon? How are you feeling about, getting yourself to, at 168?
I'm very comfortable at 168 right now, but definitely 175 is definitely an option if there's an opportunity to fight for a title or a big opportunity to fight a big fight. We're definitely going to go up. But as of right now, my thoughts and everything is to stay at 168 and to capture all the titles.
All right. Good luck on March 16th, David. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Steve Mullenhausen from Sporting News. Please go ahead.
Hi, David. Thank you for taking time out today. It really means a lot. And I don't know if this has been answered. I just got on the call, but there's been a lot. You went through a lot leading into this fight with what happened with the cocaine and getting stripped of the title, and just kind of want to go back to when you got stripped of the title, and what was that moment like? Because you're one of the best in the world, and then a mishap causes you to lose your belt. So what was that experience like of getting something you worked so hard for get taken away from you?
Obviously it wasn't a good feeling to have everything you worked for taken away from you in an instant. But it happened, and it made me more hungrier and more motivated to keep working harder and to get back what is rightfully mine. Being on the sideline, seeing my belt won by another person that I know I could destroy, I could destroy. But in seeing him one that kind of did it for me. But we're not going to take no more steps back. We're working hard, and we're going to reclaim what's ours, and we're going to put on spectacular performances, and that's how it's going to be.
What is the biggest thing you've learned about yourself in these last 13 months?
Just the hunger. Just being hungrier. Being more dedicated now. Being closer with my family, and I just owe it to the people who've been supporting me since the beginning. I just want to be a better person and a better fighter for them. So they could have that fighter that they could be proud of.
You go through all the trials and tribulations that you've gone through in this time. Do you feel this fight coming up is a redemption fight to show the world that you are for real, you can keep it together, and you are one of the premier fighters in the super middleweight division?
Yeah, definitely. This is a fight for them. Just so they could see that. I don't want nobody to lose faith in me, because I know I'm the best I've ever been right now. I just turned 22 years old. I feel stronger than ever, and I feel this training camp has been amazing. So this fight is definitely going to be for them, so they don't lose faith in me.
And just one final question: just looking at the main event, I know you're focused on your fight, but just a peek ahead of the curtain a little bit, especially since you've been with Errol a little bit. Who do you think wins that main event?
It's going to be a great fight, man. You know what I mean? Both fighters are world-class fighters. Errol Spence is a monster. He has a lot of power. Mikey Garcia is more of a technician. He has a lot of tricks underneath his sleeves. And I think this is going to be the fight that defines him, you know what I mean? So we really don't know what Mikey Garcia is going to bring to the table. I'm pretty sure he's working on so much stuff. And Errol Spence is too. You know, I just expect it to be a great fight. You know, I know both the guys. They're really cool guys, but I feel like the people really going the people are the ones that are really going to win with a great fight. You know, it's going to be a great venue. The crowd is going to be electric, you know, and I just can't wait for the fight.
Thank you, David, and the best of luck next weekend.
All right, thank you so much.
Our next question is going to come from Jake Donovan from theboxingscene.com. Please go ahead.
Great, thank you very much. David, I just want to discuss, it seems like once you came out, you know, you openly owned up to when the drug test came out. Were you surprised that it was met like with such a favorable reaction? It seems like everyone's just like so quick. Anytime someone tells a drug test, we're going to write them off. But everyone actually seemed genuinely interested in your ring return. It seemed like based on just your response.
You know, it got a little bit of, you know, I definitely owned up to it because it's something that a world champion should be doing. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. It was just something I shouldn't have been doing. You know, now I'm smarter. You know, my father, me, my team, my father, and we're just not going to be around stuff like that. And you know, we're just going to stay dedicated to our sport.
Very cool. That's kind of, you know, win belts while you've been out of the ring. But being that both are under the PBC banner, does it actually make you more confident going into each fight? I mean, I know you're looking at Julian Love, but, you know, with the win next Saturday, it's like any fight that you want is, you know, right within your reach without having to worry about boxing politics. Does that kind of put your mind at ease going into each fight?
Yeah, it actually makes me more motivated, too, because these fights can be made, you know, in an instant after my fight. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited and very motivated of the fights and opportunities that are sitting on the table for me. You know what I mean? Both these fighters are great fighters, they're world title holders. You know what I mean? So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. You know, just seeing what's in set for the future for me.
Great, thanks, David. And then Leonard, just wanted to have a question for you.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Len. This is going to be your third straight look at David Benavidez. I just wanted to know, like, just from the Mayweather Promotions standpoint, like, what Mayweather Promotions thought is of David as a fighter, and what it is about him that you see, you know, something beatable that you keep sending the guys after him.
No, it's not a matter of sending guys after him. David Benavidez is one of the most exciting, dynamic fighters in the entire sport, just not in the super middleweight division. He's a guy that I have a tremendous amount of respect for. And you're right. I've had a very upfront and close look at him for a couple fights, and I've actually followed his career, you know, up until before he fought Ronald. He's a terrific fighter, but just like any fighter, fighters make mistakes and they have flaws. And Jay Leon saw some things in the reveal fight that he'll be able to take advantage of. He's a young veteran, and he's excited and motivated for this fight, and it's going to be a terrific fight. Nothing but respect for Benavidez, that Jay Leon's coming to win the fight, and he's confident that he's going to get it done.
All right. Thanks very much, Leonard. David, best of luck next week.
Thank you.
All right.
Our next question is going to come from Mike Woods from The Ring. Please go ahead.
Hi, guys. Question for David. David, I'm wondering, the rough year and a half you had, promotional situation, and then the positive test, is it almost as if you look at that stuff and really wish it hadn't happened and you could just go back in time and do it all over again? Or actually, no. Do you feel like you learned from it and it's kind of a situation where you have that which does not kill us makes us stronger?
It's a little bit of both, you know what I mean? Obviously, those things that happened to me, I wish it wouldn't happen, but, you know, in reality, it did happen. So I learned a lot from myself, me and my team, you know, it just made us stronger. And in reality, you know, I'm not happy, but the way things played out, it just made us stronger. We've got good opportunities on the table, and we're willing to take advantage of what we have in front of us. March 16 is going to be one of the biggest fights I've ever been in, probably that I'll ever be in, and so, I get my own big, but I'm just really blessed to be here. We're taking the negatives and turning them into a positive, you know what I mean? And I'm extremely ready for my fight next week.
Not looking past Jay Leon Love, to be quite frank, you, to me, are the favorite coming in. Not asking you to look past Love, but we do, in the back of our mind, kind of think, all right, maybe for my next fight, this is who I might like. Who are some of the guys that you're looking at and kind of licking your chops and saying, I definitely want that fight?
Right now we're going to take care of Jay Leon Love, but obviously I do have some fights in mind. First, I want to get Anthony the title, and then if everything goes good, maybe I could unify with Caleb Plant in the near future. Each one of those guys has the belts. So that's what I'm really interested in right now.
That makes good sense. You know what? Good to have you back. Made missteps when you were young. I like that you owned up to it. I appreciate that character, and it's good to have you back.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.